Hello and welcome to Space Tech Hub, the channel where we explore the fascinating and sometimes terrifying aspects of our world. Today, we're going to talk about a scenario that would have catastrophic consequences for life on Earth. What would happen if the ozone layer vanished? The ozone layer is a thin layer of gas in the upper atmosphere that protects us from harmful ultraviolet UV radiation from the sun. It acts like a sunscreen for the planet, absorbing and scattering most of the UV rays that reach us. Without it, we would be exposed to much higher levels of UV radiation, which can cause skin cancer, eye damage, immune system disorders, and DNA mutations. But that's not all. The ozone layer also plays a crucial role in regulating the climate and weather patterns of the Earth. It helps to maintain a balance between the incoming and outgoing heat energy, keeping the temperature stable and preventing extreme fluctuations. It also influences the circulation of air masses and winds, affecting the formation of clouds, precipitation, and storms. So what would happen if the ozone layer suddenly disappeared? Well, the first thing we would notice is a dramatic increase in sunburns and skin cancers. According to some estimates, every 1% decrease in ozone levels results in a 2% increase in skin cancer cases. If the ozone layer was gone completely, we would be exposed to UV radiation levels that are 10 to 20 times higher than normal. This would make it very dangerous to go outside without proper protection, especially during midday hours. The second thing we would notice is a change in the color of the sky. The ozone layer is responsible for scattering some of the blue light from the sun, giving the sky its characteristic hue. Without it, the sky would appear much paler and washed out, almost white. The sun would also appear brighter and more intense, making it harder to look at. The third thing we would notice is a disruption in the weather and climate systems. The loss of ozone would alter the balance of heat energy in the atmosphere, causing the temperature to rise in some regions and drop in others. This would create more extreme weather events, such as heat waves, droughts, floods, hurricanes, and blizzards. The polar regions would be especially affected, as they depend on the ozone layer to keep them cold and stable. Without it, the polar ice caps would melt faster, raising the sea level and altering the ocean currents. The fourth thing we would notice is a decline in biodiversity and food production. The increased UV radiation would damage not only humans but also plants and animals. Many species would struggle to survive or adapt to the harsh conditions, leading to mass extinctions and loss of habitats. The crops that we rely on for food would also suffer from reduced growth and yield, as well as increased pests and diseases. This would threaten our food security and cause widespread famine. The fifth thing we would notice is a deterioration of our health and well-being. The exposure to high levels of UV radiation would weaken our immune system and make us more susceptible to infections and diseases. It would also affect our mental health, causing depression, anxiety, insomnia, and cognitive impairment. The social and economic impacts of these changes would be enormous, leading to increased poverty, violence, conflict, and migration. As you can see, the ozone layer is essential for life on Earth as we know it. Without it, we would face a bleak and hostile future. That's why it's so important to protect it from further damage and depletion. The good news is that we have made some progress in this regard since the 1980s when scientists discovered a hole in the ozone layer over Antarctica caused by human-made chemicals called chlorofluorocarbons, CFCs. Thanks to international agreements such as the Montreal Protocol that banned or phased out these substances, the ozone layer has been slowly recovering and healing itself. However, there are still many challenges and threats that we need to address. For example, some studies have suggested that climate change could delay or reverse the recovery of the ozone layer by changing the atmospheric chemistry and dynamics. Moreover, there are still some sources of ozone-depleting substances that are not regulated or controlled by existing treaties, such as nitrous oxide, N2O, from agriculture and hydrofluorocarbons, HFCs, from refrigeration and air conditioning. Therefore, we need to continue our efforts to reduce our emissions of greenhouse gases and ozone-depleting substances and support research and innovation that can help us find alternative solutions. We also need to raise awareness and educate ourselves and others about the importance of the ozone layer and how we can protect it. By doing so, we can ensure that this vital shield remains intact for ourselves and future generations. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more science-related content. Also, don't forget to hit the bell icon to get notified when we upload new videos. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. We would love to hear from you. Until next time, stay curious and keep learning.